The third thing I've realized, though, is that the American people are having a tough time right now. That's part of what you bring back from the campaign trip. I know you guys see it in your own lives and your friends and your family, but it's painfully apparent as you travel the country that we're at a crossroads, and that if we don't seize this moment and start making some better decisions on behalf of this country, that we could actually pass on a country that's a little meaner and a little poorer than the one that we inherited from our parents. You know, if you meet with the single mom who is working 2 jobs but still doesn't have health insurance, and for example, if you listen to the guy who's seen his job shipped overseas and suffers the indignity of packing up the equipment that he worked on for 20 years and that his father worked on for 30 years before him, and that gave him a livelihood and a sense of dignity, and seeing that lost along with his health care and his pension. If you talk to the guy who can't look for a new job because he can't afford to fill up the gas tank, or you talk to the young woman who is having to work the night shift even as she's going to school and gets 3 hours of sleep a night because she's got to look after a sister with cerebral palsy, then you are reminded that we've got a lot of work to do. We've been putting off important decisions for too long. We have been dishonest about the policy challenges that we face for too long. We have been thinking short-term instead of long-term for too long. And that's why this election is so important, and that's why I'm running for president of the United States of America. But the other thing you take from the campaign trail is a sense of optimism. Because my bet is that if we can make our government reflect the core decency of the American people, if we can align the values and ideals that we apply in our ordinary lives to our politics, then we can solve these problems. They're not insoluble. We spend more money already on health care than any nation on earth. There's no reason why we can't make sure everybody's got coverage at affordable rates, and everybody's got preventive care, and every child is screened, and everybody's getting a regular checkup. And we don't have to wait 20 years from now to do it, or 10 years from now to do it. We can do it by the end of my first term as president of the United States of America. We know what to do on education. If we invest in early childhood education, we can close the achievement gap and make sure that every child is prepared when they start. And then we can pay our teachers more money and give them more support. We can have after-school programs and summer school programs for kids who may not have a quiet place to do their homework, or somebody to tutor them or help them, or maybe just need a quiet place to be safe when their parents or their mom has to work. We know that we can make college more affordable. It wouldn't cost that much, and we know that what is going to determine our economic success over the long term is whether we're investing in making sure that every young person can achieve their potential and is getting the kind of... It's back. We know that we can't continue to approach energy the way we're approaching it right now. That climate change is real, that $4 a gallon gas is real, and that it is time we increase fuel efficiency standards on cars and invested in solar and wind and biodiesel and cap the release of carbon into our atmosphere. And we can actually do it in a way that creates millions of jobs all across America and saves the planet in the bargain. and frees ourselves from dependence on foreign oil. We can do that. And we know that the world wants American leadership back. A leadership that is based not just on our military, but on our values and our ideals, that closes Guantanamo and restores habeas corpus and ends the war in Iraq and finishes the job in Afghanistan and builds alliances around the world and helps poor countries deal with HIV and helps poor countries teach their children and helps bring everyone together to confront the transnational threats that we face. That is something that we can do. The world is waiting for America to return to its core principles. And that's why I'm running for president of the United States.